Hi, welcome. My name is Therese with ThereseMariePhotography, and I'd like to welcome everyone from the Chic Critique Forum. I am your March monthly mentor, and I am so honored to be here, and I have to tell you, I am so nervous to be here as well, because I don't do well in front of the camera. I'm one of those people that hate having their picture taken, and recording is scaring me. So anyways, bear with me, and if I don't answer all your questions here, I'm going to be here all month to answer your questions. So anyways, a little bit about me. I've been in business. This June will be 10 years I actually started my business. I probably did portfolio building for about a year before that. And I got into photography because both my daughters were adopted from an orphanage in Ukraine, and they were only 4 and 6. They never had their pictures taken, so I was in a scrapbook club with some good friends of mine, and I was just taking a million pictures because everything was their first. And a lot of my friends kept telling me that, you know, I should be a photographer, and that's kind of what started it. So I went from there, and about 8 years after I was in business, so this was about 2 years ago, I just literally became in a rut. It was just, you know, once you do something for a long time, even though you love it, you become in a rut. And so a friend of mine was telling me about Emily Soto having a workshop, and when I looked at her stuff, I couldn't even believe it, because almost all her pictures I had pinned in a board in my Pinterest. So I was so in love with her work, and I decided I'd never been to a workshop, so I was going to go. It was only 45 minutes from my house, and so I couldn't think of a reason not to go. So I went to the workshop, and it was a weekend workshop, and I'll tell you what, when you say life-changing, it really was for me life-changing, because it was like, wow, you know what, this is what I want to do. And that was fashion photography, which is why I'm here. I'm going to speak to you about fashion photography. So I went to her workshop, and it was so amazing. The whole process of, you know, the models and hair, makeup, stylist, and just that whole weekend was just like, I came home and I was like, I'm renewed. This is what I want to do. And so anyways, that's kind of what started the whole fashion photography thing, which I'm going to talk to you about. So first of all, oh, my cat's in here. First of all, getting started and come up with a concept. For me, if you've seen my work, it's very whimsical and ethereal and soft, and that's just my style. And so a lot of my shoots are that way. I don't even think I've ever done a edgy shoot. But you need to find your style of what you like. And once you've come up with a concept, that's when this whole magical process starts. You're going to find your team. And finding your team consists of basically a model, hair, makeup, and, you know, a stylist, which, to be honest with you, I'm in my stylist room. I'm coming to you from my spare bedroom, which is head to toe, clothes and fabric, and every kind of accessory you can think of. So, to find your models, you can do it a couple ways. You can ask your friends. You can, I found that Model Mayhem was actually a really great resource. I found some great models there, and you know, they were just totally willing to have their, you know, pictures done in trade for, you know, doing the trade is basically you trade services. They worked for me, and I gave them pictures in return. And then that was the same with the hair and makeup. And you can also do what I do, which you can send your teenage daughter to makeup school, and then you have your own personal makeup artist with you on your shoots. That's actually what I did. And then, so you're going to go to Model Mayhem, and you can actually find everybody there. You put in, you know, your area. literally what you're looking for. Like if you want to do an edgy shoot, you can find edgy models, and then you just message them and ask them if they want to collaborate on a fashion shoot with you. And it's, you know what? It's such a great process, because, you know, they have actually taught me a lot about posing. So, you know, so go to Model Mayhem, and you don't have to have a stylist. Like everything, if you look at my work, so much of it is bought from the Goodwill or the thrift stores. I've just recently now started collecting or buying some really nice couture pieces, but I'll talk about that later. So bear with me as I kind of read over my notes. So once you have your model, and I'll be honest with you, the first couple of shoots, I only had a model. I didn't have a hair or a person to do makeup. I just told my model, come with your hair and makeup done, and have them bring, I tell them to bring different color shoes, and nude bra, strapless bra. You do not want a hot pink bra like I had somebody bring, and it was very hard to work around, much less edit. So, have them bring, those types of things. And then I brought so much stuff with me. I would bring different sizes, because you can always pin it in the back. I would bring fabric, because you can drape it and make amazing things with fabric. And for me, that was just totally part of the creative process. Was I loved styling. It gave me a reason to go shop, because I would go to Goodwill and I'd find pieces like that. I'd go home and I'd put them together, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just amazing. eBay is actually another great source. I have found, I probably have like 25 of those corset tops that are so cheap. You can get those on eBay, and those look great with, fabric, skirts, under dresses, all kinds of stuff. So hit up your thrift stores and your Goodwills. Also, I'm in Southern California, so I'm close to the fabric district, and I would be able, I mean, right behind me, there's like a stack of tulle. So I've got to still make some more tulle skirts. But, so, and when you're shopping for things that are used, don't worry if it has stains or rips. I mean, those things, that's why you can get them so cheap, and you can easily fix them in Photoshop. So, look at it, and if you think this is what you're looking for as far as your concept, grab it. And then, you know what, like I tell everyone, you can sell it later. Buy it, sell. So, another big thing that I absolutely love is, you'll see on my work, is I'm still into the flowers in the hair and the flower crowns, and I've made so many of mine, and they're, sorry, I have a cold. And I made so many of mine. They're really easy to do, and if you have any questions on that, let me know, because you can go to Michael's, and when they're like 50% off, I literally stock up, and I'm buying tons of them. So now you've got your model, and then hopefully you can find, a makeup and hair person. If not in the beginning, you'll start building, and once people see your work, they're going to want to work with you. And so once you have your concept and the day of your shoot, have everyone meet up at the location. Generally what I do is we meet up at the location. The model comes with just a moisturizer on, and this is if you don't have hair or makeup. And so, I'm sorry, if you want to have a hair or makeup person there, have your model come with just a moisturizer on their face. And so, I bring a chair and stuff like that, and I allow, like, basically, if I have a makeup person, I give them at least an hour to do makeup. And if I have a hair person as well, another hour. So you're looking at starting 2 hours before you actually want to shoot. So that, hang on 1 second. And then you want to have, if you're doing a shoot, you want to have at least, for me, I liked the minimum of 4 looks, whether I'm just changing out, putting on coach jackets or whatever. Just because when I get to talking about submitting them to be published, they're going to want several looks. So try to bring as much clothes as you can. Bring it, and if you don't use it, it will be in your car for the next. I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding, because my car, every time I'm driving it, I have so much stuff in the back of it. I mean, I've got totes filled with jewelry, because I shoot like 2 or 3 times a week, and so I always have stuff with me. But once you're all done with the shoot, make sure that you reward your team, because they are working for you basically for free, because that's a trade shoot, and they're relying on you giving them pictures. I actually don't. I do digital, so what I do is I email them the gallery, and I am not stingy with my pictures, and I think that's kind of why a lot of people are wanting to work with me, is because if I have the gallery for me to enjoy, I want my team to be able to enjoy it too. And they're a great source of word of mouth for you. I mean, they're going to tag you on Facebook and Instagram, and so you're going to have, your work out there more if you take care of your team. So take care of them. When I first started, I was using basically the models from Model Mayhem, and and a lot of them were really new, and so we were kind of learning together. Once you start building your reputation and your work, people are going to want to work with you. I get practically every week, I have like top agency models that are asking, can I please work with you? Will you let me know if you ever need me? And so once you start building a reputation, I guess it's like you build it and they're going to come, and that's exactly how it is with fashion photography. So once you've done your shoot, and let me just say, doing this and doing it as a trade shoot, it's more rewarding than probably a paid shoot. I mean, the money is nice, but I'll tell you what, when you have 100% creative freedom, you have chosen the model, you have told hair and makeup how you want the look to be, you've brought in the clothes, you've styled it, and this is your concept coming to life, there is nothing really more rewarding. And then you just try it. Trust me, you're gonna love it. It's almost addicting. So once you have your whole shoot shot, you want to get it published, and that's really gonna open a lot more doors for you. I think I've been published, I'm kind of losing track now, but at least 16 or 17 times over the last year and a half. And being published, it basically, it kind of gives you, makes you, I don't know how to put it, like, gives you notoriety. Like, it makes you feel like, wow, I've done all this, and now I want everybody to see it. So there's a lot of fashion magazines out there now. Pick ones that are smaller to begin with, because if you try submitting them to these big magazines and you keep getting shot down, it's just going to discourage you. Start for smaller magazines. And once you get published in there, you start on your Facebook or Instagram, and keep an album of things that you've been published in, because that's where people are going to start looking at your work. Make sure that you give your team proper credits. Make sure when you're submitting it, each magazine wants something different. Submit the right size, and make sure you properly credit them, name spelled right. Sometimes the magazines will make a mistake, not your fault, but make sure you just spell out everything so that they've got it. There's I would say, well, actually, you know what? On one of the questions, if you want to ask me, I'll tell you a couple of magazines to start with. I really don't want to list them here because it's, I don't know. But now, having said all this about fashion photography and models, I have to tell you, it's extremely competitive. I did it for the first couple years to get myself out of a rut. It really did open a lot of doors for me, and what it taught me, because you know, it really changed the way I did my senior work. And senior work, high school seniors are absolutely my favorite. And it really, I was able to now offer something different than what all of my competitors are offering. I'm bringing more fashion into my senior work, and now seniors are saying, "Oh my gosh, I want to do a senior session with you, but I want it to look like your fashion models." And so now I'm bringing the clothes, and I'm styling it, bringing the flowers and the crowns and all that stuff, and they love it. They love it because it's unique and it's not your typical senior pictures. And I've even taken that one step further, and this year I've really gotten more into doing that for children. So I know I told you I use thrift stores and stuff like that, but I really invested in a lot of couture pieces. You can kind of see a lot of the stuff behind me. But and so I'm bringing fashion into my children's work now to bring something different, because let's face it, there's a lot of photographers, and you have to be different. You have to stand out it's just, fashion photography is just, it doesn't mean just adults, or there's just a whole genre of, you can go to children's fashion, and like I said, bring it into your senior work. But have fun, experiment, let it just open you up to, wow, this is such an amazing feeling to create something, and have a team and all work together, and then to see your work published in a magazine. It's like the cherry on the sundae. So I'm going to be here all month. If you have any questions, just let me know. I know a lot of people are going to ask me about my editing, and I'll give you a couple, tips, but I'm not really going to go into editing, because I really, truly feel that editing is a unique style, and it's really has to be. I've had some people that just said, you know what, I tried editing, and it does. I'm more, some people have like a different look to their work, and so I think mine fits my style, but I will give you a couple tips on, on some editing, but I won't go into details. But anyways, I'm so happy to be here all month. And like I said, I'm Therese Marie Photography. If you can, go like my Facebook page, Therese Marie Photography. And if you can, follow me on Instagram. I'm constantly putting new work on both of them. And I'm really grateful to be here. So thank you so much. And start asking me some questions. Bye.